Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
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 Siyavar Ramachandra ki
Jai.
Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki
Jai.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Janaki Vallabho Vijayate Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavitvaram Namah Shri Tulsidas Sadvarishthaya Dhimate Puritam Hridayam Yena Rama Premamritena Me Neelambuja Shyamala Malangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Mahasayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvam Shanatham Atulita Baladhamam Hema Shailabhadeham Danujavana Krishanum Jnaninam Agraganyam Sakala Gunanidhanam Vanaranam Adhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami. We are towards the end of Ayodhya Kanda. We saw in the last session that finally, after dodging the responsibility of saying something, Bharatji said whatever he wanted to say and explained to Sri Ramachandra that I am just your sevaka. Please don't put me into trouble. You order, I will do. And therefore, now Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra says something. What did he say? Very beautiful portion is there of Sri Ramachandra's, what is order, Adesh also and Upadesh also. In the Adesha we saw that first he explained to Bharat that you are capable. Don't think that you won't be able to rule, you won't be able to take care of the kingdom. Don't think like that. That is number one. As Raghuvamshis, we are supposed to just do our duties. Our kingdom is taken care by the grace of Vasishtha Rishi. So we don't have to worry about how will we take care of the kingdom. We just have to do our job. All other things will happen automatically. So please don't think that you are not capable. Then as a straight direct order, he said, you must go back to Ayodhya and take care of the kingdom. Whether you take care of it as a king or as someone else, that is okay. But it is your responsibility to take care. And Bhagavan also hinted that I will return after 14 years. How he hinted by saying that I know these 14 years will be tough for you, but they will pass by Guru's grace, don't worry. Which means what? After 14 years, there will not be any problem. And seeing this, Bhagavan gave the direct instruction. Then we saw that everybody became very happy and absolutely clear about what is the course of action now. They didn't have any kind of confusion left. Still that little bit of hope which was there, will Sri Rama come back, that is also gone now, and they have understood that it is not right also on our part to press these issues further. The decision is made, now we should just follow. Then Bharatji made a request that he wanted to see all the places around, every place that is touched by Bhagavan's feet. And he also wanted to know what to do with the water, with the holy water that is being brought for Rajatilak. What is to be done with that? So Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra sent him to Atri Rishi and said that you just ask him, take his guidance and he will tell you correctly. So he gave one place, one kupa, one well was there, very ancient. He said, you put all this water in this, this will be known as Bharata Kupa. Even now it is there near Chitrakoot. And then Atri Rishi himself took Bharata Shatrughna to all the places around, saying that this is where Bhagavan sat, this is where he did this is where he did that, etc., etc. After all these things were done, now it was time to go back. So Bharatji again came to Sri Ramachandra and said, Bhagavan, I am going. Please give me some guidance, instruction on how I should serve, how I should rule. And Bhagavan's very short guidance here in Tulsi Ramayana, but is very good, very good learning for a leader or a king, how that person should be. And two main points he has said. Number one, first thing he says is, do not worry. Okay, you just serve and everything else will be taken care. That's the first thing. See, arrogance, pride, etc. comes to the leader or to the chief, to the main, when the thought comes that I am the doer. When you realize that you are not the doer, someone else is doing, you are just caretaker, you are just, there, nimitta matra. When you realize this, then there is no question of pride, ego entering, and therefore, no impurity will be there for the leader. Leader's biggest impurity is this pride. Power corrupts. How? By giving that pride, that ego, that thought of arrogance, that I am over everyone, I can do whatever I want. That thought will disturb the whole thing. And therefore, Bhagavan's first Upadesha was that you become a servant and don't worry. He will take care of everything. Second thing he said is, again for any organization, for any unit, this instruction is very, very important. He said, a chief, a king or a leader or a chief of an institution or a family should be like mouth, where all other limbs are feeding to that mouth, and that mouth takes all the food, and gives it back to nourish all the limbs. That is what should happen. See, nowadays in politics, etc., just to remain in power, they give freebies. You must have heard also, no? Many things they will give. When the election comes closer, then they will start saying that, you will not have electricity bill, okay, water free, and taxes are reduced. Now, people are foolish. They think that actually it is going to come. In our politics, it never comes. Okay. And second thing also, even if it comes, a citizen should ask, from where are you going to give? You are saying that you will give. That time, if everybody starts to think selfishly, saying that, hey, doesn't matter, I am getting it for free. You don't understand. You may get it for free today. Tomorrow you will have to pay double price for all that. These freebies, etc., is not the permanent solution. Never, any kingdom, any nation is not built like this. Right? So, the people in the nation have to give some of their share to the nation, to the kingdom. They have to. That is a must. That is how the kingdom is going to run. And in turn, the leader or the king should make sure that the money that is taken from the people is correctly used for the benefit of the people. This is the secret of ruling. Okay. So, politics in essence is this. If you read Chanakya Niti also, this is the basis of his entire Niti. Then he will, based on this, he will make many rules, that how many types of taxes should be there and who should be paying to whom, when that should be paid, when that taxes can be waived off, etc., etc. He goes in detail. But all of that is coming. The seed is there in Ramayana only. Because even Chanakya, even Vishnugupta Chanakya says that the ideal kingdom was Ramachandra's. So comparison is always with Ramarajya, and therefore they say that okay, we have to reach there. So the rules etc. are made according to Ramarajya. And therefore this essential point we will see in other places also. Right? Valmiki Ramayana explains this further, and in the later texts, you will see that literally all the nitis etc., all the rules etc. which are made are following this simple principle of ruling. So that kind of Upadesha also Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra has done, not just Adesha. Not just he gave order what is to be done by Bharata, but he also gave guidance, Upadesha also he gave. Then what? Then Bharatji made one more request. Bharatji says, that is where we are after Doha number 316, after 315. He says, Bhagavan, you have given us Adesha, Upadesha and blessings and everything, that is good. But I need some physical support, looking at which I will be assured that you are there with me. Your words are there, your blessings are there, but I need something physical. And therefore, please give me your Padukas. That is what you should give me. Padukas are the sandals. Sandals is a very bad translation of Padukas, okay? But what to do in English, that's the best that can happen. So, Padukas represent the knowledge, the righteous principles and the wisdom, Brahma Tattva, on which the person stands. Often we say that head is the most important part of the body, which is correct also. Everything is for protecting the head. But we stand on our foot only, on our feet only. Isn't it? We don't stand on our head. So when it comes to representing what you stood for, Padukas are used. And that's why we worship Guru Padukas also. Earlier also we had seen that Guru is not a person, Guru is a principle. And therefore, how do you express your gratitude to that Guru? How will you worship that? If there is no form, then the form is Padukas. So you worship Padukas. So here Bharatji says that you please give me these Padukas. Why? It will be like a physical support for me. Now, Sri Ramachandra is hesitating to give Padukas because you see there are elders, Vasishta Rishi is there, Janak Maharaj, all these elders are there, and how can you give your Padukas saying that you take? It's little inappropriate, that's what he thinks. But the way Bharatji is looking at him, Bhagavan says, okay, fine. And he gives the Padukas. Prabhu Kari Kripa Pavari Dini Sadara Bharata Sisa Dharilini. And Bharatji takes these Padukas and keeps them on the head. Okay, very beautiful. This is a very famous picture also you must have seen. That Bharatji is going, sitting on the ground, and then he keeps the Padukas on his head. Now, some people have unnecessary doubts. And one of the unnecessary doubts that people have is, from where Padukas came? All the while they were telling that Sri Ramachandra is walking barefoot and Sitaji is walking barefoot. From where Padukas came? And see, you get a doubt is okay. Because then you can clarify the doubt. People go to the extreme saying that, and therefore Bharatji never brought Padukas. Why? Because Sri Ramachandra did not have Padukas. What nonsense. Imagine if Bharatji is taking the entire arrangement of Rajatilaka, holy waters from 7 oceans and 7 rivers he has brought, don't you think he will get Padukas? Do you think after doing Rajatilaka, king will come back to Ayodhya barefoot? Common sense also is not there. So, I tell you, people have such doubts, and see, doubts is okay, but their conclusion is something bizarre. And therefore, Sri Ramachandra never gave Padukas, Bharatji never got Padukas. Why? He didn't have Padukas. Some people even go to extreme saying that maybe Sri Ramchandra had Padukas, Bharatji took it. Now what will he do? Will Bharatji do that? Throughout we saw that how many times to Nishadraji cries saying that my Bhagavan is walking barefoot. So the only thing that is in his mind is that only. Don't you think he will take his, Sri Ramachandra's Padukas from Ayodhya only and he will say, now you touch and you give me? Common sense. And Sri Ramachandra is Bhagavan. He can create Padukas also, no? Don't have such kind of doubts. If he wants, he will just do like this and Padukas will come up and... What one? He will give one Padukas to every person also. He is capable. Saying that you all keep in your home. Possible. So, never, having doubt is okay, but we should think. What is the conclusion we come up to? Okay. So, Sri Ramachandra gave Padukas, Bharatji took the Padukas, and Tulsidas Ji here is explaining what these Padukas mean. What these Padukas mean. Means what? These two Padukas which have come, what do they mean? Right? And he gives lots and lots of examples and similes, etc. He says these two Padukas are like two gatekeepers of Ayodhya. So the moment people see this, they are fine. Okay, Ayodhya is protected. Some people say when they see these Padukas, which are later on going to be kept on the throne, the king's throne, Padukas are going to be kept. They every day feel that, okay, Bhagavan is going to come. And even now, he is the one ruling. So, they are like that. Some people, they say these two Padukas represent Bhagavan's Nama, Ra and Ma. So, Rama. Earlier, we had seen that this Nama is the Nauka, is the boat to cross over. He said Padukas also. They will protect us and they will take us across samsara. Therefore, Ra and Ma are these two Padukas. Right? And finally, he says that for Bharatji, these Padukas are Sakshat Sita Ji and Sri Ramachandra. That is what he is taking back. He is not just taking Padukas, he is taking both of them back in his mind, and that is how he is going to behave with the Padukas. And saying this, he holds it on his head and he starts to return to Ayodhya. Now here Tulsidas Ji says one very interesting thing. He says, earlier you remember that Indra did one Uchchatana Maya. One kind of Maya he did which did not work on Bharatji and Vasishtha Rishi and all mothers, etc. But it worked on Ayodhya Vasis. Tulsidas Ji says that thanks to that Uchchatana Maya, that people felt less sorrow. He says, we think that why Indra did like this. He said, but that was required. Many people would not have been able to go back. The separation, the pain of separation would have been too much for them. He says, many people would have even given up their life, saying that I don't want to go back. So he says, Uchchatana Maya was good. It is beneficial for these people. Because of that Uchchatana Maya, they have got some, desire to go back to Ayodhya, and therefore, that parting with Sri Ramachandra becomes easier than what would have happened. That is what he says. And then, as those people are leaving, Sri Ramachandra along with Sita Ji, Lakshmana, all of them, they also accompany for some time. See, this is how our culture, our tradition is, isn't it? That when guest comes to our home, bye, we don't close the door on the face of the guest. We go with the guest till, till at least if you are living in flat, then till the ground floor. If you are staying in the house, till for some more time. So you go bus stand and railway station, you go to drop. Not to make sure that they go and they do not return. Not like that. See, people have funny ideas, no? When camp, etc. ends here, in our ashram also, when the bus, etc. is leaving, you will see Swamiji, myself. We go there to make sure that they all are happy and they had nice experience. Not that, both hands are bye, don't come back. Not like that. But that is how our culture is, that when somebody comes to our place, when they are leaving, you don't suddenly say, now let me do my work. No, you go with them little more. So that's what Sri Ramachandra also does. And he goes little further, and as they go, he and Lakshman and Sita Ji, they return back. Now, there is another thing that we have to understand. See, prema, love, grows by both. Samyoga and Viyoga. We saw that Bharatji's love manifested because of this Samyoga and Viyoga. That he was separated from Sri Rama and then he met. That is where the love manifested. For many people in Viyoga, the love manifests. If you remember Narada Bhakti Sutra, Naradji's definition of Bhakti has both these aspects. He says, Tadarpita akila acharata tad vismarane parama vyakulata iti Naradastu. Isn't it? That's what definition he gives. That I am dedicating all my actions to Bhagavan and tad vismarane, and suppose I forget, I feel extreme pang, extreme sorrow. Right? Now this extreme sorrow that I feel on Vismarana is part of love. Because by that love will grow. And see, similar thing we see not just in Rama Avatar, in Sri Krishna Avatar also we will see this. Bhagavan is master of all that. For love to grow, whatever is required, he will do. We'll see, suddenly he decides that now, no, these people are becoming too much. They are all the time coming and sitting on my head. When Shri Krishna is small baby, all these gopis will come and gather around in his house, no? Outside his house. Inside house, no entry. Yashoda doesn't allow. So on the fence, everybody will be waiting. So Bhagavan when gets up, they will already be there. Then when Bhagavan has to sleep in the afternoon little bit, then Yashoda will close the door saying that now you go. Don't disturb my son. They will go run back to the home, they will finish their work, and again by evening when Bhagavan has to wake up, again they will come back. So Bhagavan says this CCTV camera all the time is not good, I can't do anything. So one day suddenly he decides that from tomorrow onwards I am going to go to the forest for grazing the calves. So cows are being taken care by the father, Nanda and all these elders. So now me and my all friends, all young boys, we are going to go and graze the calves. Now gopis, for them it is like what? He says, yes, morning I will go, evening I will come back. It is explained there that as Bhagavan is going with all the calves and with all the friends, etc., gopis keep looking. And till the time he is coming back in the evening, they are just waiting there. And if you see the description in Bhagavata, he says, Vedavyas says that it is as though their pranas are leaving. So as the pranas are going farther and farther, they are becoming more and more like dead bodies. And only when Bhagavan comes back, that body gets life again. See, if we will not do it, we will not have that what do you say, that importance of the presence. Because of Viyoga, Samyoga makes great impact. Right? If that Viyoga is not there, then we will start taking people for granted. Very famous Subhashita is there in Sanskrit. Atiparichayat avadnya. Santata gamanat anadaro bhavati. That when we become over familiarity breeds contempt. We say in English also, no? Same concept. That when we become over familiar with somebody, we will start to disrespect that person. Atiparichayat avadnya. Santata gamanat. If we keep going to somebody's house, very often, anadaro bhavati. Then we will not have value for it. Example is given, Malaye Bhilla Purandri Chandana Tarukashtam Indhanam Kurte. He says on the Malaya mountain, there are Chandana Vrikshas. And you know the cost of Chandana? They are very precious. He says, but lady who is staying there on that mountain, she uses that same Chandana wood as a firewood to cook rice. Why? Over familiarity. So readily available here, they don't have value for it. So Viyoga actually gives that preciousness to Samyoga. And therefore love requires both. And therefore we see Sri Ramachandra now having that kind of Viyoga also with all of them. See, actually if you really think about it though, you see the entire Ramayana and the number of years according to the history, if we see from childhood onwards, okay, for few years, Bhagavan was in Ayodhya. Then with Lakshmanji, he went with Vishwamitra Rishi in the forest. Then he came back. Then 12 years he was in Ayodhya again. Then for 14 years he was away. Then for 1000 years he was again in Ayodhya. But the story of Ramayana that we listen to is only of these 2 times when he was not in Ayodhya. Hardly we know any stories when he was in Ayodhya. That separation only with other people, that has only become story. Isn't it? Entire Ramayana is that Vishwamitra Rishi, Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana going with Vishwamitra Rishi, and then 14 years of Vanvasa. All other things hardly we know. That's what creates love for Bhagavan. And that is why we see this Samyoga Viyoga both happening here also in Sri Rama Avatar. Now all of them, they went back. Nishadraj stayed in Sringaverapura and all other people, they reached back Ayodhya. Janak Maharaj also is with them. So Janak Maharaj also goes there with them, stays there for some more time in Ayodhya, and then goes back to Mithila. And all the people who have now come back, after seeing Bhagavan, they all are immersed in Vrata because they want to make sure that these 14 years finish very fast. And we should be able to see Bhagavan again. And therefore they get into Vrata. They are not going back to Bhoga just because they have come from forest back to the city, so they are going to enjoy. No. They immerse themselves in Vrata. In Kathopanishad, one mantra is there. Asha pratikshe sangatagam surunrutamcha. You remember that mantra? First valli only. First valli, second valli. First valli only. Yeah. So that Asha pratiksha is a very interesting phrase. It is said that all the Ayodhya Vasis, including Bharat, all of them first had Asha, hope, that Bhagavan will come back. This hope is there, that we hope that he will come back with us, and therefore they are going to forest. Now after meeting Sri Ramachandra and coming back, now they get pratiksha. Now hope is fulfilled. They know he will come back. Now only what remains is pratiksha. Pratiksha means what? Wait. Hope is now satisfied. I have confidence that he will come back. Now just we have to wait. So from Asha now they have moved to Pratiksha. And that is what is happening in Ayodhya. What to tell about Bharata now? Bharatji does something which is extraordinary now. First, with the permission of Vasishtha Rishi, he establishes these Padukas on the throne. He doesn't become the king. He establishes that Padukas on the throne, saying that this kingdom belongs to Sri Ramachandra. I am just a servant. He gives Shatrughna, his younger brother, responsibility of taking care of mothers. All of them are there, no? And some other matters that need to be taken care of. And he takes charge of Gurujana and Parijana, or Purajana, what is called. Guru is Vasishtha Rishi and all the elders, and Purajana. Purajana means all the people of the city, of the kingdom. But how he does it? Very beautiful. He goes to Vasishtha Rishi and says that I want to take up some special vrata for these 14 years. I will, take care of all the matters of the kingdom. Don't worry about that, but I have to live in a very, very special way. What is that way? He says, I will not live in palace. Ayodhya is a capital of Surya Vamsha, okay? So you imagine what kind of riches and all these things are there. Earlier when marriage happened and when the procession came back, we saw Tulsidas Ji explaining what was the prosperity of Ayodhya. He says, I don't want to stay in any palace. I will stay outside the city in a small place called Nandigrama. Even today, you will see that Ayodhya, from the main city Ayodhya, some 10 kilometers, 6-7 kilometers away is this Nandigrama. So I will stay there. Every morning I will come. I will be in charge of the assembly. I will make sure that everything happens correctly. I will do whatever is required. And evening or night, I will go back to Nandigrama. And in Nandigrama, what he did was, he made a pit underground and started to stay in that pit. He said, why? If Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra is walking on the ground and is sleeping on the ground, I must sleep below that. Imagine. I always say that when you are with some great person, serving him is very easy because you are with that person. Difficulty is when you are away from that person but still have that kind of love, that kind of respect for that person and continuously think. It's very difficult. Sometimes, Lakshmanji's job is easier. Why? Because in case Lakshmanji forgets, Sri Ramachandra is right in front of him. And therefore, he will remember again that what he is supposed to do. But Bharatji's job is very tough. Even today, if you go to Nandigrama, you will see that in that Nandigrama there is that pond, etc. is there, and nearby they say that is the place where Bharatji stayed. You will see that he has created, now there are steps, etc. to go there. That is where down, underground he used to stay. Imagine what kind of love, what kind of respect is there for Bhagavan. King, supposed to be the king of Ayodhya, but he used to live like this. And Vasishtha Ji could not even say anything. When he heard what Bharata wants to do, he said, all you brothers are, wonder only. One after the other, you keep giving me this pleasant surprise, and I feel so blessed that I am Rajaguru of this Surya Vamsha. That is what he says. Now, Bharatji starts to live in that Nandigrama. He gives up all ornaments, etc. He is also in Tapasavesha only actually. And like a servant, he is taking care of the entire kingdom. Sadhana, tapas, vairagya, all these things grow in these 14 years. That's what Tulsidas Ji says. He says his life is so austere that he is such a tapasvi that real tapasvis start to feel ashamed that what are we doing? Look at Bharata. He is king, still he is doing so much of austerity. What are we doing? He says that complex tapasvi sadhus also start to get that much austerity. Bharatji is following for these 14 years. And actually, if you see the entire description in Valmiki Ramayana also, we see that what Ayodhya was when Sri Ramachandra left. And in the 14 years, what Ayodhya became, there is huge transformation. They say that the prosperity, the richness and even the morality of Ayodhya grew many fold. For many reasons it can be. It can be that the young blood is taking charge again, Dasharatha Maharaj was an older person. For a long time he was the king. But the way Bharatji has taken care is unparalleled. Sri Ramachandra himself says that actually you have done such a great job, I don't know why have I come back. You should continue to do that. That kind of, so not only that he kept on doing his tapasya, etc., but he took care of the entire city, entire kingdom also in a very beautiful way. That is what he does. With this, Ayodhya Kanda concludes. Tulsidas Ji does the Phalashruti and says that anybody who listens to this Bharata Charitra, which is the second half of Ayodhya Kanda, will gain love for Sri Ramachandra and Sita and will get vairagya from samsara. That is what will happen. He says, why? Because he depicted all these things. Bharatji depicted all these things. So with that, we conclude Ayodhya Kanda. I hope you remember what all points we have seen in Ayodhya Kanda. We started with Mangalacharana Shloka, where Tulsidas Ji shows equanimous nature, remember, of Sri Ramachandra and Shivji also. He says how that Prasannatam yanagata abhishekata tathanamamle vanavasa dukkata mukhambuja Shri Raghunandanasya me sadastu sa manjula mangala prada. That glow of Sri Ramachandra's face, which never became too happy because he was going to become king, nor became sad and glow went away because he is going to forest. Glow remained same. That glow may protect me. Even Shivji is described in this way only, how he is balanced. His entire description of his form is given in such a way that he remains balanced. Why? Because entire Ayodhya Kanda is filled with these ups and downs of emotions. And he says what will help us in this is the equanimity. So that is where he started with. Then we saw so many stories that Dasharatha Maharaj decided to make Sri Ramachandra Yuvaraja, then Kaikeyi's Vara happened, and then lots of samvadas, Kausalya Sri Rama Samvada, Sri Rama Sita Samvada, Lakshmana Sumitra Samvada, etc. happened. Finally, they went, Vanaprasthana happened. Then Nishadraj, we saw a very beautiful episode, how Nishadraj took care in Shangaverapura. Then Lakshmanji's Upadesha to Nishadraj, Lakshmana Gita also is part of this Ayodhya Kanda. Then we saw most beautiful, very funny incidents of Kevata. What a lovely person, bringing that entire life to the entire scene. Kevata Prasanga, he took all of them, Sri Ramchandra, Sita Ji, Lakshmana, Nishadraj, all of them across Gangaji. Then we saw they go to Bharadwaja Ashrama, then Bharadwaja Stuti Prayagraj, right? So Bharadwaja Stuti, then they further go to Valmiki Ashrama. Valmiki Ji does the Stuti. Then Sri Ramachandra asks, please tell me where should I stay? And first the Stuti Valmiki Ji is, and then Valmiki Ji says, shows 14 places. These are 14 sadhanas and 14 kinds of mind of bhaktas, and he says you go and stay in their mind, their heart. Then as a direct answer, where should you stay? You should go and stay in Chitrakuta. So then Sri Ramachandra along with Sita Ji, Lakshman Ji go to Chitrakuta. They send Nishadraj back. Nishadraj comes back. Sumantra is still waiting there. Sumantra comes to know what all things have happened, and Sri Ramachandra is not coming back. He comes back to Ayodhya, gives the news to Dashrath Maharaj. Listening to that, Dashrath Maharaj gives up his body. Now Vasishtha Rishi calls Bharata and Shatrughna from Kaikeyi Desha. They come, and then we see what all things happen. So from this point onwards, Bharata Charitra starts. Bharata comes back, and then what all things, so what beautiful things are there. He is in deep sorrow, but his love for Sri Ramachandra is only growing. Then again we see some samvadas with Kausalya Mata also, first with Kaikeyi also, then with Kausalya, then with Vasishtha Rishi, with all other ministers, and they decide to go to forest, get Sri Ramachandra back. Then we saw all of them going, meeting Nishadraj, then further going, meeting Bharadwaja Rishi, going still further to Chitrakuta, then trying that Bharata Milapa, very emotional scene also we saw. They are trying to say something, everybody is, looking at somebody else, that somebody else should see. In this whole thing, Janak Maharaj also comes there, and finally Bharatji says whatever he could say. Sri Ramachandra gives the final order that I am not coming back, you have to go back. I will come back after 14 years, but now you have to go back and take care of the kingdom. And we saw the portion where all of them return back to Ayodhya. With this, we conclude the Ayodhya Kanda. Siyavar Ramachandra ki, Parama Bhakta Bharata Maharaj ki. Now we begin the third Kanda of this Ramacharitamanas, Tritiya Sopana. So generally you know how Tulsidas Ji ends, isn't it? Iti Srimad Ramacharitamanase Sakala Kalusha Vidvamsane Dvitiya Sopana Samaptaha. The second step is over. 7 steps are there, no? To get into this Manasarovar, Ramacharitamanasa. So the second sopan, the second step named Ayodhya Kanda is concluded. Now we begin the third sopana, which is Aranya Kanda. And as usual, he starts with Sanskrit shlokas. Aranya Kanda also. All kandas will start with Sanskrit shloka. Let us see what is the shloka. First shloka, let us. Please repeat. Moolam dharmataror viveka jaladhehe.
Moolam dharmataror viveka jaladhehe.
Purnendumanandadam.
Purnendumanandadam.
Vairagyambuja bhaskaram yagaghana.
Vairagyambuja bhaskaram yagagana.
Dhvantapaham tapaham.
Dhvantapaham tapaham.
Moham bodhara puga patana vidhau.
Moham bodhara puga patana vidhau.
Khesambhavam shankaram.
Khesambhavam shankaram.
Vande brahmakulam kalankashamanam.
Vande brahmakulam kalankashamanam.
Shri Rama bhupa Priyam.
Shri Rama Bhupa Priyam.
Together.
Moolam dharmataror viveka jalade purnendumanandadam vairagyambuja bhaskaram yagagana dhvantapaham tapaham mohambodhara puga patana vidhau sesambhavam shankaram vande brahmakulam kalankashamanam Shri Rama Bhupa Priyam.
Some Pataveda is there in the second line. In some places it is Mohambodhara Punja Patana Vidhau. That is also there. Instead of Ke Sambhavam, Swas Sambhavam is also there. Brahmakulam, Brahmakule. All these different Patavedas exist in different readings, in different prints. I will explain the meaning of and how there is no difference in the meaning also. That also I will explain. Now, whom is he prostrating? First shloka is supposed to be Mangalacharana. Whom is he prostrating? Shankaram Vande. Aham Vande. I salute Bhagavan Shivji, who is Guru Sthani. Why are you prostrating? Who is Shivji? So, all other words you see as adjectives of Shivam, Shankaram. Shankaram Vande, Shankaram Dvitiya Ekvachan. Therefore, Moolam, Purnendum, Anandadam, Vairagyambuja Bhaskaram, Yagaganadvantapaham, Tapaham, Sambhavam, Brahmakulam, Kalankashamanam, Shri Rama Bhupa Priyam. All these are adjectives of Shankaram. Who is this Shankarji? Dharmataroho Moolam. He is the Moola root of Taru. Taru means tree. Tree of Dharma. Dharma taroho, for the tree of dharma, he is the moola, he is the root. They say, sukhasya moolam dharma. And here Tulsidas Ji is saying, dharmasya moolam shiva. Shivji is the root of all dharma. Guru is the root of all dharma. He is the one who is telling us what is the right thing, what is the wrong thing. Otherwise, how will we know? Without Guru, how will we know? Moolam dharma taroho. Not just dharma. Viveka jaladhehe purnendum. He not only gives us knowledge of dharma, but also gives knowledge of Brahman. And therefore, Viveka jaladhehe, for the ocean of Viveka, discrimination, Purna indum. He is the full moon. Shivji is like the full moon for the ocean of Viveka. Why? Because with that full moon, there is the ocean gains so much of joy. Anandadam. Next one you see. It grows. It is said that on the full moon, the attraction of that gravitational pull of that full moon is so much that the ocean gets attracted, and that's why we have high tide. Isn't it? So, he says that Vairagya grows when we look at Shivji. Means what? Guru is the cause for a growth of our Vairagya also. Viveka also, not Vairagya, Viveka. Viveka Jaladhe, Now Vairagya comes next. Vairagya Ambuja Bhaskaram. One who is like the sun for the lotus of Vairagya. See what a beautiful Upama. One who is like the moon for the ocean of Viveka. So, Viveka is there, now it is growing. But for Vairagya to bloom, what is required? Sun is required. Because Vairagya is like lotus. So, Vairagya Ambuja. Ambuja means lotus. Bhaskaram. He is like the sun. He is like the sun for the lotus of Vairagya. Means what? Because of our Guru only, we understand what is Dharma. We start to understand what is Brahman, and therefore Viveka Shakti increases, and with Viveka, Vairagya also blooms. Okay, then what? He indeed Agha Ghana Dhvanta Apaham. He is the remover, he is the kidnapper of Dhvanta. Dhvanta means darkness. Agha Ghana Dhvanta. Agha means sin. Ghana means cloud. He says that sun is there, moon is there, but sometimes Viveka Vairagya does not bloom. Why? Because sun and moon is covered by clouds. What are the clouds? Our own sins. He is the one, Guru is again the one who will remove these sins, these clouds that will create darkness. He is the one who does that. Tapaham, and he will not just remove agha, not just remove sins, but also tapa. Tapa means afflictions. You must have studied, no? Shanti mantra, Kathopanishad Shanti mantra that time. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 3 times. Why do we say Shanti? To remove the Adi, Daivika, Adi, Bhautika and Adhyatmika tapa. Trivida tapasi haraka. Gurupaya. That is what is said here. That all the 3 tapas are removed by this Guru. Tapaham. Another beautiful upama. Moha ambodhara puga patana vidhau. Vidhau. In removing patana means to remove. Puga means group. Punja also. Another Pataveda which I had told you. Punja also means same. Group of what? Ambodhara. Ambodhara means clouds. Those which hold water. Ambas means water. Ambodhara means clouds. What clouds are removed now? Moha ambodhara. The clouds of delusion. In removing the group of clouds of delusion, Khe Sambhavam. He is like that which is born from space. Kha means space. Khe means in space. Sambhavam, that which is born in space. What is that born in space? Vayu. Brahmashraya Sattvarajastamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. Tataha Akasha Sambhutaha. Akashat Vayuhu. So Bhagavan Shivji is like the wind which will remove the group of clouds which are of delusion. That's why the K Sambhavam is a better partha than Swas Sambhavam. Because Swas Sambhavam means that one who is born from himself. So K Sambhavam is a better partha there. K Sambhavam. Brahma Kulam. One who belongs to Brahmaji's Kula. But Shivji doesn't have. No. Brahma Kulam here means Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. They all belong to one Kula. Trimurti, no, they are. Therefore, Brahma Kulam. Kalanka Shamanam. One who removes all the Kalanka. Kalanka means stain, taint. Because of our bad karmas in the past, we have created so much of, dark marks on our life. That one who removes Kalanka Shamanam. Sri Rama Bhupa Priyam. Very beautiful. Sambodhana, very beautiful Visheshana. One who loves King Rama. Sri Rama Bhupa Priyam. Or one who is loved by Sri Rama, Raja Rama. Tam Shankaram Vande. To that Shivji, I offer my salutations. Now, what all things are said here? Shivji or Guru is the one who gives us knowledge of Dharma and therefore puts us on the righteous path. Second, because of our Guru, our Viveka and Vairagya grows. And therefore, he is like the moon, full moon for the ocean of Viveka, and he is like the sun for the lotus of Vairagya. Then, when these good things are happening on our path to spirituality, on our path to liberation, there are so many obstacles. First obstacles are that of our sins. He is the one who removes those sins. Aghagana Dvantapaha. Second is the obstacle of tapas, difficulties, calamities, problems. Third is the obstacle of delusion. Our buddhi does not work correctly. So, Moha Ambodhara Puga Patana Vidau Ke Sambhavam. And finally, the obstacle which is Kalanka Shamanam, the obstacles of our some prarabdha karma which will come back again and again, some bad actions that we have done. One who removes all this. And finally, that Guru who loves Bhagavan and that Guru who is loved by Bhagavan. That's why Sri Rama Bhupa Priyam. To that Guru, to Shivji, I offer my salutations. Okay, this is the first Mangalacharana. Remember, this is to Shivji, okay? Now second one. Now you know, Shivji is over, now who will be there? Ramachandra ji. Sandrananda Saubhagatanum
Sandranandapayodasauphagatanum
Pitambaram Sundaram
Pitambaram Sundaram
Panau Banasharasanam Katilasat
Panau Banasharasanam Katilasat
Tunirabharam Varam
Tunirabharam Varam
Rajivayatalocanam
Rajivayatalocanam
Dhritajata Jutena Samshobhitam
Dhritajata Jutena Samshobhitam
Sita Lakshmana Samyutam Pathigatam
Sita Lakshmana Samyutam Pathigatam
Ramabhiramam Bhaje.
Ramabhiramam Bhaje
Together.
Sandranandapayodasauphagatanum Pitambaram Sundaram Panau Banasharasanam Katilasat Tunirabharam Varam Rajivayatalocanam Dhritajata Jutena Samshobhitam Sita Lakshmana Samyutam Pathigatam Ramabhiramam Bhaje.
Aha. Rama Abhiramam Bhaje. I worship, I serve that Rama who is Abhirama, who is the source of all bliss. Who is that? How is he? Sandra Ananda Payoda Saubhaga Tanum. Tanu means body. Two words that we saw in today's Sanskrit class. My God. Taru also came and Tanu also came. Very good. Tanum, one whose body, Saubhaga, is very beautiful. Like what? Payoda. Payoda. Payas means water. Payoda. Clouds. Those who give the water. I already told you in Sanskrit class, as many synonyms of water are there in Sanskrit, those many can be there for clouds. There can be more also, but at least you add the there and then you can have. Already Ambodha, Ambodhara earlier was used, isn't it? Some two were there. Ghana, of course, was used, and then Ambodhara. Two things were used. Now here, what is used? Payoda. Which Payoda? Sandra Payoda. That which contains water. So clouds which have water, water-bearing clouds. The color of water-bearing clouds only is blue, no? Otherwise, clouds can be, faint blue also, sky blue also. No. Water-bearing clouds, dark blue color. Like that, whose body is beautiful. And Ananda Tanum. See, Sandra Ananda. Again, Ananda can be taken in two ways. One thing you can say that those clouds are giving Ananda to all the people because they are going to bring rain. Or, as Bhagavan says in Bhagavata also, that my body is not made up of Panchamahabhutas. It's made up of Chit. It's made up of consciousness. That Ananda Tanum. His body is made up of bliss. It's not made up of Panchabhutas. So that body one who has. Pitambaram. And one who is wearing beautiful yellow cloth. Sundaram, one who is very beautiful. Panu, in the two hands. Bana Sharasanam. Bana means arrow. And Shara means bow. So Sharasanam, Bana Sharasanam, Panu. In the hand he is holding bow and arrow. Bow and arrow. Kati Lasat Tunira Bharam. And on the back, Lasat, dangling. What is dangling? Tunira. Tunira is quiver, where you place all the arrows. No, that quiver is there. No, that is called as Tunira. So on the back, that Tunira is there. Okay. Varam is the Shrestha, is the greatest Lord. Rajiva Ayata Lochanam, one whose eyes are beautiful like the Ayata, like the Patra, like the leaf of Rajiva. Rajiva is another name for lotus. One whose eyes are like that of lotus petal or lotus leaf. Dhrita jata jutena samshobhitam. And he is ornamented or adorned with what? With the hair tied in matted locks. Dhrita means holding. Jata jutena. So jata is the hair. Hair are held in that lock. Okay. Samshobhitam, but that is also beautiful. Everything about Bhagavan is good only. Even casually also he puts hair on top. That also will be beautiful. Dhrita jata jutena samshobhitam. And then what? Very important. Sita Lakshmana Samyutam. One who is along with Sita ji and Lakshman ji. Pathigatam. One who went through the marga. That Sri Ramachandra I worship. What is the speciality of it? This entire is the description of Vanavasi Rama. Otherwise, earlier we saw that the description will not have all these elements. So what are all the elements? Tunira bharam varam. In Ayodhya, you will not wear that quiver all the time. Only bow and arrow you will see. But here quiver. Why? Always ready. He is in forest. Supposed to be ready all the time. And therefore, Tunira bharam. Then we see Dhrita jata jutena samshobhitam. This is another indication of Vanavasi Rama. And very clear indication is Sita Lakshmana Samyutam Patigatam. One who is walking in the Tapasa Vesha, Tapasa Rama. In the Tapasa Vesha, he is walking on the forest ground along with Sita ji and Lakshman ji. That Sri Rama I worship. Okay. If you see our Siddhabari Ashram, in Siddhabari Ashram, Sri Ramachandra's Mandir, temple which is there, Gurudev has done Pratishtha of Vanavasi Rama. So you see Bhagavan in Vanavasi Rupa along with Lakshman ji and Sita ji. With all the jata and Tapasa Vesha, etc. He is not Raja Rama. This is Vanavasi Rama which is there. That is what we are prostrating, because now we are entering into Aranya Kanda. See, Ayodhya Kanda, when it started, he was not having this Vesha. But now, throughout Aranya Kanda, this Vesha is going to be there. Therefore, that description Tulsidas Ji starts with. See how apt for what is required there. Right? Now he starts with one Sorata. Uma Rama Guna Gudha Pandita Muni Pavahi Birati Pavahi Moha Bimudha Je Hari Bimukhana Dharmarati. Shivji is telling to Parvati. Now the story is continuing further. Hey Uma, he says, Rama Guna Gudha. Sri Ramachandra's virtues are very deep. It's kind of secret. Pandita Muni Pavahi Birati. If wise people, if saints, they look at Bhagavan's Charitra, Bhagavan's Leela, they will get Vairagya. Pavahi Moha Bimudha. But if fools, they see, they will get deluded. Je Hari Bimukha. Why? Because those fools are Hari Bimukha. Hari Bimukha means they have turned away from Sri Rama. Bimukha means turned away. Bhagavan is here, they are looking at the other side. Na dharmarati. And they are not engaging into any righteous action also. And therefore, such fools, when they will see these charitra of Sri Ramachandra, they will get deluded. Now somebody said, what kind of opening is this? Okay, Mangalacharana is fine. You are prostrating to Shivji, Guru. You are prostrating to Sri Ramachandra, Bhagavan. Okay. What kind of opening? See, in Ayodhya Kanda we saw that there was going to be emotional up and down. And therefore, the entire prayer was, may my mind remain equanimous. Now here, warning is given. What is that warning? Aranya Kanda has got a lot of surprises. Like what? Like Aranya. Forest itself is full of surprise. All other times it will look so beautiful, so peaceful, so calm, serene place. Birds and animals are there, very nice. But you never know suddenly from where some wild animal will come, some thief will come, some Daitya, Asura, etc. will come. So it is full of surprises. Now when you see Sri Ramachandra's Charitra in Aranya Kanda, be careful. Why? Because you may get deluded. How do you know? Hey Uma, Shivji is calling Parvati by her old name, Uma, to remind. Remember what you did? You got confused in this Aranya Kanda only. In Aranya Kanda only, when Aranya Kanda Charitra was going on, Sati thought that, I think this is not Brahman. This cannot be Ishvara. And we see throughout Aranya Kanda, delusion. Everybody's delusion is there. We start also with delusion only. Jayanta Moha Prasanga. Next session we will be starting with Jayanta first got Moha. So he is warning Satiji. Say, therefore Shivji calls Parvatiji by Sati's name, Uma, and says, be careful. Okay? If you do not want to get deluded, then what you should do? Number one, only Guru can save. Therefore Shivji is there. Second, Hari Vimukha, don't turn away from Bhagavan. Have that Bhagavad Bhakti. And third, Na Dharmarati. Those who do not have Dharmarati, they will get deluded. If you want not to get deluded, then you should have Dharmarati. So if you have Guru Seva or Guru's Sanidhya with you, if you have Bhagavad Bhakti and Dharmarati, then the Charitra of Sri Ramachandra that will unfold now will give you Virati, Vairagya. Otherwise, it will give you Moha. Therefore, with this warning, Tulsidas Ji is starting the Aranya Kanda. Alright. It goes very fast now. Stories after stories, quickly things will move. It's like, see, when earlier also we saw now, when there is love, then suddenly Tulsidas Ji goes into some different mood of description. When marriage was there, then also he went like this. Now Bharatji's time also he went like this. Now nothing. Now he got tuck, he goes very fast. Remaining portion we will see next class. Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti
Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti
Veera Maruti Ati Dhira Maruti
Veera Maruti Ati Dhira Maruti
Geeta Maruti Sangeeta Maruti
Geeta Maruti Sangeeta Maruti
Duta Maruti Rama Duta Maruti
Duta Maruti Rama Duta Maruti
Bhakta Maruti Parama Bhakta Maruti
Bhakta Maruti Parama Bhakta Maruti
Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti
Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti
Gambhira Maruti
Gambhira Maruti
Gambhira Maruti
Gambhira Maruti
सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय
पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय
उमापति महादेव की
जय
बोलो भाई सब संतन की
जय
सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की
जय
ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।